If your base looks like this, don't panic. I've got 5 tips to turn your rush base into a 3-star war machine. My first tip is to prioritize upgrading and maxing your heroes. Heroes are the backbone of your attack, so getting them to higher levels is only going to be a good thing. We're going to go ahead and we're going to drop down a few heroes here on my rushed account because we are making some great progress. I'm actually even going to use this hammer of heroes on the queen since she's closer to max level. I think that's going to come in handy. We actually have a lot of CWL medals, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab another hammer. And we could have probably actually just maxed out the royal champion. I didn't realize she's almost level 50, almost max. But we'll drop that other hammer into the royal champion, getting her ever closer to max. Focusing on these hero upgrades is huge for a rush base. We've came a long way, but you can still see the king is trailing behind. I'm actually going to go ahead and use this book to finish up the warden, and then maybe we can get him going down here. Actually, let's go ahead and let's do this. But I would have just focused on grinding these heroes out as much as possible. We need 22 million, so let's grab 3 more of those, just because that's gonna make our base army stronger just by default. Are we gonna get our warden max right there? Nice, we're gonna have a max warden. We're almost at a max world champion. We could have had our max, but we still gotta get work on the king and the minion prince. Having heroes makes your attacking a lot easier. And this is going to compound into tip number 2, prioritizing offense over defense. Heroes are a big part of that. Heroes can single-handedly carry an attack, but also you want to focus on upgrading the core offense buildings. Buildings like the army camps, the barracks, the dark spell factory, the dark barracks, the regular spell factory, and even the hero hall, so you can get to those max levels. Another good offensive building is the clan castle, so you can bring more troops to assist you on those attacks. These offensive buildings are just going to make it easier for you to get more 3 stars as a rush player. And I'm sure some of you guys are thinking, well, Bash, what about like all my defenses? What about these walls? What about all this other stuff? Well, that's all great, fine, and dandy, but realistically, since we're rushed, it's going to take a while to work on those. So we might as well make our offense as strong as possible while we're working on things. And that's why we're prioritizing offense over defense. If we're rushing, we want to have that benefit of having a strong offense. The defense, we don't need to worry about that so much. The meta is a little bit easier these days. We just want to focus on getting 3 stars and helping our clan in that way. My next tip is to start using more simple armies, especially in war. This army right here has been working crazy for me, and you see I'm using a power potion. We can get power potions and hero potions 3 each week, which is enough for 3 wars a week from the trader from our raid medals. So take advantage of that, but also simplify your army. This mass dragon army is as simple as it gets. We're literally just running 17 dragons, 4 clone spells with yetis inside of the clan castle inside of a battle blimp, and then 1 rage to rage up those yetis. We're gonna use the queen's giant arrow to shoot that giant arrow across the base. Some healers from the healer puppet to support her. We're gonna go with an early warden eternal tome with the healing tome in there to heal our dragons, and we're gonna full send right at the town hall. We're gonna clone up and we're gonna rage them up, and we're just gonna get nice value. Yetis, with the Yeti mites being nerfed down to 2 housing space, means we can get a little bit more Yeti mites out of our clones, but really just a big Yeti bomb can just gut out a base. That's why I like this army. Super simple. I don't have to overthink things. Really, we just use the main push through the middle of the base. We can bring the royal champion in wherever it makes sense to help finish off this base, and that's why I like this. And you can see that my dragons aren't maxed, and we'll talk about that in a second, because I've been switching from other armies. But realistically, just find one simple army. You don't need to go overcomplicating it. You don't need to be doing 2.5-minute queen charges and warden walks and all that. Spam is really friendly inside of Clash of Clans right now. Whether it's dragons, whether it's root riders, whatever you may be using, spam is the way to go, especially as a rush player. A lot of rush players even like using E-Drags. It's not a bad thing. It's going to get you some safe 2 stars and even some 3 stars along the way. So since I've gone with this overly simple army, I need to finish maxing out my dragons. We still got a few levels on them, so let's go ahead and let's drop them down to level 9 here today. And then I do have a book of fighting, so let's go ahead and let's use that book of fighting, and then let's go ahead and let's use some more raid medals to grab some loot. We're cheating. We're going the easy way here today for some nice easy upgrades. All right, nice, we'll get that. I think I grabbed 1 too many. That's okay. We got another book of fighting, so we can go ahead and we can do that. Perfect. And then we can come in here and we can almost get these dragons just about maxed out here today. I wish I had a hammer already bought because we could have maxed them, but you see, we're right there on the cusp of having max dragons after doing all that work. Now we just come in here and we just spam away. We're wasting a lot of raid medals, but that's okay. I don't mind it too much here. We'll go ahead and we'll get these dragons going to max level. So yeah, focus on one army. Like I said, root riders are going to work really well. In the past, we've used electro titans, but you don't need to overcomplicate it. Just use that one simple army that's going to get you some easy 3 stars, and then stick to that army as you focus on those offensive upgrades. And you can kind of apply that same mentality to your hero equipment. Go with a simple path. If you're sticking with one army, stick with one set of upgrades. You can see on our warden, we got the healing tome and the eternal tome maxed out, but with our queen, her healer puppet's kind of trailing behind. So let's go ahead and let's get this healer puppet upgraded. That way we can get more healers in there. That's just going to make it better. And then also we can max out the giant arrow. Let's go ahead and let's do that as well. Now we can just start passively working on the minion prince equipment, since I am using the minion prince more often. Since I'm using the minion prince, it's not hurting me as much that my king is super rushed. So you kind of see here, we're kind of just using our strengths and taking advantage of that. Now, hero equipment is a strong, long grind, but we'll get there eventually. And just working on a couple pieces at a time, or just like a pair of pieces at a time, that's the way to go for the hero equipment. Don't rush it. It'll be fine. Take your time on it. But again, stick to that simple army and work on maxing that out before you go on to another army. My 4th tip is a little bit controversial, but you got to be cautious of pushing too high in trophies. But also at the same time, we need to push a little bit higher so we get more ores. But my main thing here is don't go and sign up for Legends League. Maybe go fake Legends if you want to push trophies, but don't go and sign up for Legends League because you're just going to get crushed. You're also going to be limited in loot by doing only 8 attacks per day. So I think that if you're going to go up that high, just go to fake Legends, or maybe stay in Titans 1. That way you can get those ores. I prefer just staying low so I can just smack the bases really, really easy. Also, I just have too many accounts and I can't keep up with it. But if you are going to push higher, just be cautious and don't sign up to Legends League. I think that's pretty important. And my 5th tip is to have an upgrade plan. Don't just go randomly upgrading stuff so things look like this. Be smart about it. Prioritize those offensive buildings. Get those army camps up early. Get those barracks up early. The barracks, the dark barracks. Get those spell factories up. Get the hero hall up. If you need to get resource buildings, get those up. Have a plan in mind. If you are going to prioritize heroes, get them ready. Get them ready to go up. We're going to go ahead and we're going to drop that archer queen down. I went out and farming. Another building that needs to go up is our pet house. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to drop that down. And I would love to get more offensive buildings, but I got a ton of gold, so I don't want to waste all of that gold. So I'll go ahead and I'll drop down this builder's hut right here. We'll grab the rest of our gold. But another big thing here is, along with having that plan, is make sure you're trying to keep those builders going as much as possible. I'm really bad about this, and you guys are probably aware of that. But if you're a rush player, keeping those builders going on something is better than nothing. Obviously, we want to try to prioritize those offensive buildings. That's going to be a big thing. Prioritize upgrading those heroes. That's a big thing. But at the same time, if you're not able to farm, maybe you don't have the time that day or for a couple days because you're playing other accounts, or life happens, because life does happen, just get something going. But again, try to be smart about it. Get those offensive buildings up. Get the things that are going to benefit you the most. Defense, you'll get there eventually, but prioritize that offense early. If this video is helpful, do me a favor, guys. Leave a like, subscribe, consider using code BASH. It helps out a ton. And go ahead and drop down your hero levels down there in the comment section. And let's see who's recovering their rush base.